Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to be hopping into the arena, Black for a Cold Arena to be exact, playing with my boy Beanslayer X, and Priest, his name is Inklin. I call him Casey. He's a very good Priest, just been playing with him recently with Beanslayer. We were playing Arcane FMP, which is a very interesting comp that you don't see very often on ladder, but we actually did a pretty good job with it, and I want to show you one of our games. We're playing around 24-ish hundred MMR, maybe 25, 23 in some of our games, but around 24, I believe, and we're fighting Shadow Priest, Destruction Warlock, Resto Shaman, and Destruction Warlocks right now, guys, are so common, and I kind of want to go over our strategy in this game because it's a little different than a lot of strategies that you might see with FMP. It's not a strategy where we're just CCing and killing. It's not quite a strategy of just killing everything with spread pressure, but it's kind of a mix in between. So I'll go ahead and play this game for you guys. I am not playing Temp Shield, I'm playing Dampened Magic instead, and that's just so I take a little bit less spread pressure from the enemy team. And so basically, they're all playing Relentless. They're all going to try to dampen, and we're going to try to counteract that with hitting the non-Earth Shield target. A lot of this game, kind of going between the Shadow Priest and the Resto Shaman. Kind of my Feral Druid's going to bleed up both, and the Priest and I are going to do a good job of just line of sighting while getting some big bursts off as well. But the main thing that we want to point out here is that we're not, me at least, I'm not hitting into that Earth Shield target. So right now, I'm hitting the Resto Shaman with that Mark of Alunith, with the slow for the increased damage. The target has full bleeds, and he has that bash. He's just taking so much damage, channeling the Arcane missiles with that Arcane power, have that presence of mind for the blast if I need. I can blink Belf over. After this, Shaman's going to take a ton of damage, and the reason is he has no Earth Shield and he has that full bleeds. Now, if the Shaman swaps Earth Shield to himself, we simply swap back to the Priest and continue more pressure that way. So we'll see tons of damage actually coming in. There's that War Stomp. I actually blink in to go for that Belf, but I do get CC'd, I think. No, I do get that Belf off. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I don't know if it landed there onto that Shaman, but now the Shaman switches Earth Shield to himself. And we sign him sighting, and I'm going to be continuing spread pressure on over to the Shadow Priest. We do want to keep an eye out on this Destruction Warlock as well. I can either keep an eye on my Gladius, to keep an eye on his cast times, or just have him on my focus target. But those Chaos Bolts are going to hurt. I actually double blink and I block here. Didn't want to get Shadow or Death by the Shadow Priest, but I don't think I needed to actually throw that Ice Block out. But the thing the strategy is pretty much doing, guys, is we're CCing the Warlock. I could actually be polying the Warlock a little bit more here. But we're CCing the Warlock with off kicks, with mind controls, fears, and polys. So he doesn't just get to do whatever he wants, and a lot with line of sight. And then we're kind of just rotting down the Shadow Priest and the Resto Shaman, depending on who has Earth Shield and based on their positioning as well. If the guy without Earth Shield's completely across the map, we can't really just chase him, so we might hit the guy with Earth Shield just for a second. But look at the mana difference. Shaman's probably, what is that, 70% mana already, and the game is just going on. And that's because he has to constantly heal 2 different targets and constantly swap that Earth Shield. Getting a ton of damage out on the Steve now since he doesn't have Earth Shield. And this is very difficult for our Priest to heal as well. The pain suppression is coming out. This is a game that wasn't exactly very easy, and that's why I chose it to upload here to the YouTube channel, so I can talk about how we actually came out ahead even in a difficult game. So we pushed out there on that center pillar for a while, and we were taking a lot of damage. It was very difficult for us to actually survive, so we decided to pull back into the room, and that was just a call out from I think that was Bean that said, let's run back to the room. So we actually ran back to the room, and it's actually allowing us to line of sight a little bit easier. As you can see, we can line of sight the Priest just from this short little pillar here, but if they pop into the room, we can also line of sight here. So there's actually 2 different spots you can line of sight. So the room is a very nice little spot to line of sight on this map if you need to recover. Now that we're fully recovered, we can play a little bit more aggressively. I have Arcane Power here in about 10 seconds. We can set up some huge burst setups with that. Steve now taking a ton of damage. If I land CS or any type of CC onto the Shaman, the Priest will have to disperse, or we can push back out onto the Shaman as well. Now, we can damage the Warlock a little bit, but he has that Destruction Warlock little shield, so every time we damage him, it's usually just going to be immune. So Destro Warlock has that 1 wall as well. So it's one of those targets that if you want to kill the Destruction Warlock, you almost have to train it. So swapping between all three means we're just never going to kill any of them. Shadow Priest actually gets very low right there, but holds his dispersion. Very nice of him to do that there. We're pushing back out, playing a little bit more aggressively, and I displace back across the map, so I'm in line of sight of my Priest. Shaman's taking a bunch of damage now, throwing down that Earthen Shield and throwing down that Earth Shield onto himself as well. I get so low here. I blink into the room. Actually, the reason I get low is because the Mind Bomb kind of stuns me and my Priest up right there because my Priest was silenced. That's just a little unfortunate, but I blink into the room. Priest getting some really good heals off, and I really have to commend my Priest just for keeping us alive this long. The fact that he's almost full mana, I think he did get a drink off. I think he is playing Trinity healing as well, and healing a lot with those offensive penances to really spread the healing with the atonement healing. But regardless, great job from our Priest just to keep us alive this long. But now the Shaman's at 30% mana. Like I said, his mana is definitely going to be a factor in this game. Steve getting very low. We might force out that dispersion right now. And the Priest and the Shaman are just completely rotting. And this is a strategy, guys, that you might not have even known was possible. This is a strategy that I haven't been doing too much until playing with Bean. Beanslayer X kind of introduced me to this strategy about a week ago when we started playing this composition. It's just rotting the guy without Earth Shield, but normally when you do this, you would switch between the Shadow Priest and the Warlock, and you would still go for some CC on the Shaman, but we're actually doing it onto the Shaman and the Priest, and look at this. They're both just kind of dying. I'm playing very defensive here. I have no Ice Block. I can push in a little bit because I do have that Trinket cooldown as well. And my Priest is, doing a good job of keeping us all topped. This is kind of, like, for a while it was looking like a very unlikely game, but whenever we kind of play back and reset, it's looking better and better for us. I blink there for that Prismatic Cloak, 50% damage reduction. Priest dispels that Mind Bomb off me. We're going to be completely okay. Bean's doing a nice job of continuing that offensive pressure while line of sighting and not taking too much damage himself. Feral Druid's a very difficult balance of, when to be cat form, when to be bear form, when to be in the open, when to be line of sight. Beanslayer is obviously, mastered this. He's very good at this, so he can play in very aggressive without actually dying. So if there's anyone watching this video, it's like, how is your Feral Druid just in there without dying? That's kind of why. He's taking a lot of pressure right now. And this is either a moment where he can counter pressure to get them on the back foot, as we see here on the Shadow Priest, or he can, play back with my Priest, or he could play line of sight, or he could just stop all incoming damage, wait for the Priest to top him. So he does have a lot of options here. Now that our shield's still on the Priest, but he's taking quite a bit of damage, but even with the Priest low with Earth Shield, I'm going to swap on over to the Shaman, see what I can get done here. Throwing at that invisibility. I push in on just a little bit too far, though, and every time I do that, I get in trouble. And since I have no Ice Block for about 20 more seconds, I'm going to play very, very passive and pretty much do nothing until I have another major defensive cooldown. Beanslayer's just doing work in there on the Shadow Priest and the Shaman. I'm supplying the burst, the counter spells. Steve getting very low and is forced into that dispersion. That might be the first dispersion of the match, but look at this. Guys, the Shaman is Their clock is over. We win this game if we can just survive a little bit longer. And seeing as I have block in a couple seconds, my Priest has 30-ish% mana. We have some defensive cooldowns left. Pretty much all we have to do is survive to win. Shaman taking a ton of damage, goes into that bash, throws out that Spirit Link Totem. Or actually, I think that might have been the life swap from the Shadow Priest. Not the Spirit Link Totem, but now Steve has no Earth Shield, no Dispersion, no swap. Shaman's coming in maybe for a Link or something like that, but the Shadow Priest does eventually fall. So that was a good game. That was a good game. It was a game that once we fixed our positioning, we were playing a little bit too up, had used a lot of cooldowns. If the Arcane Mage play a little bit too relentless, a little bit too aggressive, I'm going to have to throw out my blocks and I can't die. So the more passive I play, continue switching targets on that Earth Shield, the better and better we're going to do. This is the damage breakdown. I'm going to see if I sort. I don't know if I sort by damage there, but the damage is taught by Beanslayer because he's just spreading the bleed, spreading the damage. The Shadow Priest, the Destruction Warlock, and me all coming around the same damage within a million or two damage there. And yeah, that was a pretty long game, but we just dampened the dampeners with our FMP composition, and that's really what you can do with this comp. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. FMP with an Arcane Mage, something that you don't really see too often, so I wanted to make a video on it. I have a ton of footage against other compositions. If you guys want to see Arcane FMP in play, let me know down below in the comments. Be like, we want to see Arcane FMP versus this or that, or say we don't want to see Arcane FMP and I won't upload any more of that. But let me know what you guys want to see. Always reading those comments, or you could tweet at me, Instagram me, whatever. Just let me know exactly what you guys want to see so I know what to upload here onto this channel, whether it's that 2v2. I've been playing some Resto Druid, Arcane Mage, quite a bit of that, whether it's a 3v3, something like this, or Arcane Ellie. I've been playing a little bit of my own Priest as well. I've been playing a little bit of my Disc Priest, which I know you guys love. So if you want to see that, let me know as well. And then I've been playing some RPGs as well. So 2s, 3s, RPGs all over the place. And I've been playing quite a bit of Fortnite. If you guys want to see Fortnite, let me know. If you guys don't want to see Fortnite, let me know. But I've been playing Fortnite, getting better, and that's been a good time as well. But I have been rambling for too long. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.